Hello, everyone. Hello. I don't know, but I believe you can see me. Can you see me and can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you, can hear you.
See you, we can hear you. Good
All right.
evening.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Pelumi. Good evening, everyone, and of course, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. Okay, nice to have you guys here as usual. Nice to have you guys here. And of course, just today, I'm not doing this alone. I have my wonderful and amazing colleague who is here, who will be leading us today. Oh, I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm not the one that will be taking this class. So I'm so excited because I'll be learning from a data professional. Okay, nice to have you guys here. It's just an amazing one to have you guys here. You know what? Guess what? Thank God it's Friday. We are doing this on Friday. So thank God it's Friday, not Saturday, as usual, and not Sunday. Okay, thank God it's Friday. I am so excited. I don't know about you. I don't know how. Let's talk about our weekend actually. How is your weekend and how is it going? Let's hear from others. Please tell us give us a brief story about your weekend. How is it going? One person who will be good enough to tell about his or her weekend. Tell us. Tell us about your weekend. How is it going?
So let me go first. Well, my weekend. Are we in weekend? I think weekend starts from Saturday, right? But it starts from Friday anyways. My weekend is going great. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with you how you can integrate Power BI and SQL to bring out valuable insights. So yeah, my week so far went well, and my weekend is surely going to be great.
All right, that's great. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution from you, Sandra. Nice to have you here, Sandra. Nice to have you here. All right, it's amazing. Great one to always do this with you. All right, others. Let's dive into what you have worked today. I don't know. I'm so excited, but guess what? I want to know where you are joining us from. Not just that, right? Is there a way we can turn off videos of people? I don't know how do this
We
thing.
are seeing so many fine people on this call. There are so many beautiful, handsome people on this call.
All right, so guys, Sandra, please if you can just help to stop their videos, that would be great, okay?
Okay.
So that because to avoid distraction. Thank you very much for that. All right, so even though I've done that. All right, so guys, we want to know those that are joining us for the first time. All right, and then meet them. Meet them. I think it's from when we are setting the login details. All right. So I want to know where those that are joining us for the first time, right? If you know that you are doing this with us, I don't know the first time is this iPhone, or we have meted you before. It would be nice if you meet yourself again. Sandra, please can we meet all participants? That would be great. All right, thank you very much for that. I have done that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I want to know those that are joining us for the first time. You are joining us for the first time, or you are just joining any of our masterclass. Today is the first time you are joining our masterclass. So please, we want to hear from you. Just give us one. Use the comment section, all right? There's the chat box. Just write one there. Right, one. We want to know those that are joining us for the first time, right? Oh, that's amazing. One Kolumi just joining us for the first time. That's great. Nice to have you here, Kolumi. And I can see my amazing people, right? And as usual, we have Hajdeep here. Hajdeep is an amazing person. Part of the August cohort. Yeah, that's my person. All right. Thanks for joining us, Hajdeep. Has been you're just an amazing person. All right. Thank you for joining us, Femi Yusuf. I can see your name here. Thanks for joining us, Femi Yusuf. Femi Yusuf is just another amazing person, and it's great to have you here, Femi Yusuf. All right, so guys, let's dive into what we have for us. I don't want to ask us because with the name have here, right? Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Okay, let's do one thing before we dive into this, right? I am Chia, and of course, I'm joining you from Lagos, Nigeria, right? So I want to know where you are joining us from. Want to know where our participants are joining us from. Tell us your location, where you are joining us from, so that we can welcome you and ask you for weather reports of your location. Not just to dig some stuff so that we can, dive into the program, right? So tell us where you are joining us from. We want to know where our participants are joining us from, right? Just like I said, my name is Chinyere and I am joining you from Lagos, Nigeria. So let's take that. You can use the comments, right? Use the chat box so that it will be very easy for me to pick that from there, right? So I'm waiting for you. Okay, Juwon from Canada. It's cold here. Oh, I know that the weather is already changing. I spoke with my sister who is in Switzerland this morning, and she told me about the weather condition over there. But then I know you can bear it. Juan, please, I'm from Toronto. Okay. Yeah, HDP is joining us from Toronto, Canada. Femi Yusuf from UK. That's great. That's great. God bless. Okay, God bless from River State. That's from Nigeria. Okay. Others, can we just keep that coming in? Can we keep that coming in so that we can welcome you? And Femi Yusuf, tell us, how is the weather over there in United Kingdom? Hope it's not too cold. Okay, we are waiting. Others, can you just do that? I saw KNM. I saw a lot of people here, right? I can see your names. I cannot actually pronounce everyone's name. Sawolu Sodik Ajibora. Thanks for joining us. A bit cold and rainy. Oh, okay. All right. That's great. Thanks for giving us that weather report from United Kingdom, right? Sadiq from Oyo State. Thanks for joining us, Sadiq. Faith from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. We really appreciate you guys. I do. Just Austin from Abuja. Austin, thanks for joining us. Yeah, now I've known your name. Your name is Austin and not iPhone. Okay, thanks for joining us from Abuja, Austin. All right. So I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you guys here. It's always my pleasure to to be doing this every time with you guys. And for those that have not, you'll be joining our master classes, and today is not your first time. We want to welcome you in a very good way, right? Thank you for always joining us. Thank you for always stopping by here to learn with us, right? Oh, we are so great to have you guys here. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen, now, and then let's dive into what we have for us today. All right. I believe you can see my wonderful screen, right? If you can see my screen, can you just give me a thumbs up, right? Just give me a thumbs up. I'm not using my second screen now, but I believe you can see it. Just give me a yes. Can I get that so that I can proceed? Give me a yes.
Yes,
so that I can move on. Oh, thanks very much for that, Sandra. All right, thank you guys, and welcome to Amdor Analytics Masterclass. I don't know those that are joining us for the first time, but just one person that actually decided that he is joining us for the first time. And we want to say thank you very much for joining. And then let's dive into the program. Now, let me share something with you guys, right? So this program is going to be in 3 parts, right? The first part is we introducing ourselves, just like what we have started. But now we have introduced ourselves. I'm going to introduce myself, our facilitator for today's program. And of course, we introduce Amdor Analytics. I don't know those of you that, I don't know how you heard about Amdor Analytics. If you have come across us, possibly you came across us on social media platforms, right? So officially, we are going to introduce Amdor Analytics to you. And that's just the first part of the program. Now, the second part of the program, we dive into the practical part, which is, well, I know you don't want to miss that, not at all, right? And then the third part, we will not share with you what you need to do to get started to become a data scientist, data analyst, business analyst, right? You want to dive into this world of data, you want to dive into the world of tech and just become a global talent, because what tech is just all over the world now, and everybody's talking about tech. What then do you need to do to get started? So we're going to be sharing with you the third part of the program. Now, let me tell you something. Do not leave the call. If I were you, I will stay, because it's Friday. So I'll stay to the end of the program, because there is a lot that you will be learning today. You know what? Not just to learn, but you're going home with something. There is a takeaway for you. So stay till the end of the program. And then let me share something before we dive into the program, right? So this program is recorded. Now, simply means that If you stay to the end of the program, you will get the recording. Now, what we do is that there will be attendance form going on in the next few minutes. So all you need to do is to fill the attendance form, right? So the video, the materials, everything that we're going to be using today will be sent to you via your email, right? So thank you once again, and then let's talk about the program. Welcome, and then let's dive into. Now, you want to become a certified data analyst. This is the goal. I don't know, but let's do something before we dive into the program, right? Let's just play small again, right? I don't know how many of you that are already in the field of data, but I know that I have my people here who is already a certified data analyst, and that's Femi Yusuf. That's the only person I know that he is already a certified data analyst. But now let's play a small game before we dive into talking about the analytics and thereabout, right? Can you just give me any word that you know about data? Just give me any word, like something that whenever you hear about that word, you will remember data analytics, right? You remember being a data analyst. Anything of your choice, right? Just write it. Let's use the comment section. Hilary Ebo, yeah, good evening, Hilary. Nice to have you here once again. It's always pleasure to always have you on our call, right? So can you just type something? Let's play a small game, right? Tell us something, just like any word at all that you have heard from data analyst, right? Okay, counts. Okay, that's just where can we see the form to fill? Okay, that form you will get it very soon. Okay, visualize, count if. I'm getting that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Let's keep that coming in. Let's keep that coming in. I see counts, visualize, count ifs. Okay, so it simply means that, okay, I've seen that. Okay, evidence. Wow, another word, evidence. All right, that's great. Insight, great. All right, great. Insight. All right, let's go. Let's go. Dashboard. Yes, this is that. You see this word dashboard. I see that lookup and dashboard concatenate. Valuable insight. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, let's keep that coming in. But then, great. All right, so let's dive into the program now. Thank you very much. It simply means that I have people that can relate with whatever we'll be doing today. VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, amazing. It simply means that I have people that will be relating with what we'll be doing today. But now, let me tell you something, guys. If you have not heard of anything here, don't feel intimidated. Now, let's assume that someone just type VLOOKUP and you'll be wondering, what is VLOOKUP? What are they talking about? You know what? Do not feel intimidated, because today you are going to be learning everything, and not just everything, right? But you will be learning, how do I get started to start talking about all these words that other people have said. You are going to be learning how Amdor Analytics will hold your hands and guide you through to become that which you wish to become in this third quarter of the year. Okay, data analytics, a lot of words here. That's great. Thank you, guys, and thank you very much, everyone. And I can see a lot of words for my data professional. So let's talk about Amdor Analytics. Yeah, as you all know, Amdor Analytics is an edtech company. Yeah, I don't know how you heard about us, but let's say that you heard about us through social media platform, right? Now, welcome to Amdor Analytics. Amdor Analytics is an edtech company, and we are committed to empowering individuals to become global talents. That's one thing, to become global talents to our comprehensive and accessible training programs, right? This is one thing that we are known for. Everywhere I go to our website, we see it. We are known for this, what? Empowering individuals to become global talents, right? Now, our mission is to reach this skill gap by equipping learners with in-demand skills. I don't know, I think last weekend, right, I was handling data analytics master. I think data analytics master class, it was, I think, business analysis or thereabout. And someone mentioned, I asked, do you know, can you tell me more about the in-demand skills and why you want to dive into the world of data, world of tech? And someone mentioned about the World Economic Forum, the report on the World Economic Forum, right? Why people need to acquire the in-demand skills. That's actually what motivates him to dive into the world of tech. And it was so amazing, and that's what accurate, because World Economic Forum mentioned something about by 2030, there are some work that might not be into existence again, because what? AI and some other things we take we take over, and we don't want to talk about the dive into that fully now. Let's still continue with Amdor Analytics so that we don't digress. Now, what we do is that enabling individuals to just know just that to make informed decisions, drive innovation, and create positive change in the tech-driven world, particularly across African continent. And let me tell you something, we are no longer in African continent talking about how we can equip individuals, because our goal is by 2030, we want to make sure that individuals, especially in African continent, right, are well equipped with those in-demand skills. We talk about AI here. AI is taking a lot of jobs and out there, but you know that AI will take job of those that do not know how to handle those words or how to handle the AI. Now, our goal is to ensure that individuals, especially in the African continent, are well equipped with the in-demand skills. Especially by 2030, we know that, oh, people are well equipped with these in-demand skills, right? And we ask ourselves, what are those in-demand skills? And that's what brings us to where we are now. Now, with a track record of success, we have trained over 3,000 participants, help them to transition into tech. People with no prior knowledge, help them to transition into tech, right? And of course, we have a lot of things that we have done to give back to the society by giving us scholarships here and there, right? Now, we specialize in training individuals in the data and the field of data analytics, data science, and business analytics. Now, those are industry experienced professionals who are experts in their field. You are going to be seeing at least one of them today. I mean, I myself, right? And you'll be seeing my colleague here, right? So you'll be seeing our experts, the industry experts, who will be guiding you to when we say that there is difference between facilitator and a trainer, like it's a teacher. And I will tell you for free that what you see at Amdor Analytics, they are not just facilitators, they are tutors that will help you, guide you through on how you can, transition without stress. Now, let me talk about myself, right? The person in front of you and who the person is, right? So my name is Chukwuka Chinyere, Commissioner Chukwuka, and by God's grace, I'm the founder of Amdor Analytics. But yes, we've been doing this thing, right? So we looked at ourselves, okay, we have seen that a lot of jobs that we actually be taking, we move out due to the in-demand skills that are into existence because what is moving into tech, and we ask ourselves, what then do we do to ensure that individuals are well equipped and still become industry relevant? And we said to ourselves, we want to what bring out in-demand skills, equip individuals in those technical skills so that they will be what highly in demand, even when the jobs are going to be out of the market, right? So now, what I do, right? I'm a seasoned tech professionals. With over 7 years experience in data analytics and data science. Now, as the founder of Amdor Analytics, I have successfully guided individuals with no technology skills. No, you don't need to have these technical skills before you come into Amdor Analytics, right? And we have guided them to transition into tech field, and not just to transition, but secure their first tech role, right? Now, I am known for my straightforward and effective training method. And of course, I have personally trained in about 5,000 individuals, right? About 5,000 participants. Of course, I've been doing this over the years. Now, my participants are across telecommunication, governance, financial, and edtech sectors. Now, let's talk about our facilitator who will be guiding us today, who will be helping us to learn everything that we need to do, right? So everything, I don't know how excited that you are, but I'm so excited because I know I will be learning something new today. I'll be learning from a tech professional, right? So this is our facilitators for today's program, right? And who is she? You can see how she's smiling, right? Showing you that she's well equipped. Right? So this is Sandra Asagede. So Sandra is a data analyst and BI developer with about 5 years of experience. She was going to be sharing herself. So I'm telling you about herself. And I know a lot of you have actually, been under her training, and you can see amazing things that Sandra is doing in the industry, in the tech industry, right? So now helping clients with diverse sectors harness the power of data analytics, identify trends and useful information. Of course, not just that, she has helped individuals with no prior knowledge to transition into tech. And of course, she has successfully trained about 3,000 participants. And that's so massive. Somebody say massive. Right? That's so massive, right? And I have participants across governance and edtech sectors. Right. So I think I'll stop here now for now, so that I'll hand over to Sandra. But then let me ask us let me take one question from us before we dive into the practical part of the program. What are our expectations like? I don't know. Can you tell me about your expectations? What are your expectations like? What are you expecting from today's program? Let's take that, guys, so that we can, dive on. So tell us your expectations. What are your expectations like? Nobody's talking. Okay, but me, my expectations is I'm going to learn something new. They expect to become multi-millionaire. Oh yeah, Hi Steve. Okay, that's the expectation. You are asking for them, but then okay, that's great. Okay, so my expectation is that I want to learn something new, having in advanced knowledge about Power BI and some data analysis tools again. All right, that's great from me. Okay, so I will hand over to my colleagues now, where she, take over. Hi, Sandra, are you there? I think you are muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank God it's Friday. I know that many of us, maybe we've canceled one engagement or the other to be here. Well, we appreciate that. It's good to learn. It's good to party. It's good to it's good to do everything, but then it's good to learn. Okay, it's good to learn something that will help us in our career, that will make us a valuable asset in whatever organization that we are working in. And if you are new here, like my colleague Chinri has said, we are Amdor Analytics. And what we do is that we help train data enthusiasts who are looking at getting into the tech space, particularly the data space, right? And in the data space, we have different fields. We have data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis. And what we do is that whichever area that you want to focus on, we are going to help you, hold your hand, and guide you to scale through. All right, so my name, although Shineri has already spoiled, she has spoiled my surname. But then my name is Sandra Ashagade. All right, and I'm a data analyst, a Power BI developer. I don't know if anybody has heard of the term Power BI developer. If you've heard of Power BI developer before, just leave a yes in the comments. All right, so I'm a data analyst, a Power BI developer, a data analytics facilitator. I also facilitate data science. You can call me Jack of all trades. All right, and have been opportune to work with different sectors. All right, so I've been opportunity to work with different sectors, from project management to energy and a lot of other sectors. And I am also a facilitator. All right, and in this session today, we are going to see how you can make use of two of the top data analytics tools. The reason why I say top is because this is what most organizations, they make use of. You know that outside there in the world of data, there are a lot of data analytics tools. So there are a lot of data analytics tools. Okay, we have Power BI, Microsoft Excel, SQL, Tableau, Google, Looker. There are so many. There are so many. Now, it now depends on the organization that you are working in. There are so many organizations, and take it from me, right? Because I've worked with a lot of organizations, okay? And this is what they use. They use Power BI to visualize their data. And some of these organizations, they make use of SQL. Why do they make use of SQL? So we are going to be seeing that in this session, right? I don't know if you've ever, okay, so I have a picture that I want to share with you all. It's a weekly insight that, we currently do here at Amdor Analytics to keep our audience engaged, to keep them in the know. Okay, so there is something we analyzed recently, and we saw that there is a particular tool that is currently, or that is the most requested for in your skills. Like when you're applying for a job, there's a particular tool that is high in demand. So I'm going to show that right now. No, it's not Microsoft Excel. It's not Microsoft Power BI. It's a particular tool. All right. So Just hold on. Okay. All right. So, okay, Sherry, I don't know if you're still there. Can you just let me know if you can see my screen? All right. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know in the comments. Say yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Pelumi. Thank you, Faith. Okay. All right. So there's a particular tool. Oh, I think I saw Tableau. Who was that? Okay, Taiwo. No. So Tableau is not the tool. So the tool that is currently in demand, like most of the job applications, the requirements that we saw. So this is actually from Glassdoor. We got this data from Glassdoor, and we saw that the skill that employers are seeking the most is SQL. All right. It is SQL. That is the skill that, let me think. All right. So that is the skill that employers are seeking the most. So this is not just us assuming or telling you yes, say. This is something that we have analyzed from real data. And we've seen that this is the skill that employers are seeking the most. Now, you might even wonder, why is it that employers are seeking this particular skill the most? Now, let me tell you, most times when we have data, we save our data in Microsoft Excel, right? Like small businesses, they save their data in Microsoft Excel. Okay, that is fine. You can save your data in Microsoft Excel. But when your data now starts to grow, then there is a need for you to develop means or create a structure that will help you save or store your data. And then you can analyze that data. So what structure is that? So using SQL, most companies, they make use of SQL, all right? The reason why they make use of SQL is because they have a database. Now, a database is a collection of structured data. So you can collect data from different sources and you put them in a safe. So let's say a warehouse can collect different items and put them together in just one space, right? So that is what a database does. It helps you store your data, manage your data. You can manipulate your data and do whatever you want with that data there in the database without having to run from Excel worksheets to Excel worksheets. And then it's also good, especially when your data is a growing one. All right, so especially when your data is a growing one.
Have you seen more on cloud or more on premise for the database?
So more on premise, yes. So when we now get to Azure database, then that will be on cloud.
No, I mean, like, what do organizations use more in like real life, on premise or on cloud?
Well, it depends on the organization, but most of them, right? Most of them make use of the SQL server on premise. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Hashdeep. Okay. So very soon I'll be sharing my screen and we'll get started with what we have for today. How can we integrate both Power BI and SQL? All right, so what is SQL Server? For those of you that do not know what SQL Server is, well, you are just in luck, okay? I know that when we go online, we see people talking about SQL, or maybe we see people talking more about Power BI. But yeah, all these tools are important, right? But it is very good that you know how to make use of at least 3 of the important tools. Okay, so you can't say, okay, you're a data analyst and all you know how to make use of is just Microsoft Excel. I tell you, they're going to employ somebody else that can make use of Power BI, SQL, and other tools that may come up later in the future. All right, so you need to know how to make use of the important tools in data analytics. All right, so the basis of these tools is to help you bring out valuable insights from your data. All right. So what is SQL Server? So SQL Server is a powerful database management. It's a powerful database management tool. All right. So it helps you manage your data, store your data. For businesses that have growing data needs, then it is important that you just migrate your data and you store it in a database. All right. So that you do not encounter loss. When you store your data in a database, you can easily back up your data, restore your data, and manage that data in general. Okay, so SQL Server, or the SQL Server is just a server. SQL itself is just a language. Just like, I don't know if you've heard of Python programming, right? So SQL is just like a programming language, but this time around, it's a means of communicating with your data. It's just like speaking English to your data that, okay, data, I want you to give me this thing. And then your data gives you that particular thing because you have written the right language or because you've communicated properly. All right. So with SQL Server Management Studio, so this is a tool that lets you write your queries to retrieve, update, and manipulate your data. So we're going to see how to do all of this very soon. All right. So the SQL Server allows you to work with large data sets. Like I said, for growing data needs, you might need to migrate, or not even you might, you will eventually need to have a good structure to manage that data. So SQL Server will help you work with large data sets efficiently by running queries that filter, join, or aggregate data to get specific insights. Like I said, when you hear of the word SQL, you don't need to be afraid, okay? SQL is really not that hard to learn. I remember starting out, okay? So let me not lie. Let me not lie. I remember starting out and I know that I was scared of SQL for a long time. I would be like, you know what, I'm going to learn this SQL next week. Next week, we turn to 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we turn to 1 month. Eventually, 2 months. Before I finally said, okay, I said to myself that I'm going to learn this. And when I started, I just realized that it's not even that hard. It's just like speaking English. All right. So the thing, what I do tell my students, I think some of our students are right here on the call. What I do tell them is, once you can understand English, then you have no problem. It is just like speaking English, okay? All right, so that is it about SQL. SQL is a language, and the full name is Structured Query Language. Structured Query Language. All right, so it helps you query your structured data to get specific insights according to the business needs. Now, what is Power BI? Power BI is a visualization tool, right? We have Power BI. So Power BI is up there when it comes to visualization, right? That is what most organizations make use of. It is up there when it comes to visualization. We have tools like Looker Studio, Tableau, but from my experience, I know that most organizations, they make use of Power BI. And I think it is because it is also cost effective for them. All right. And it just lets you get straight to the point, bring out the insight that you want, and track the important metrics that you want. All right. So it allows you create visuals, making it easier to understand patterns and trends in your data. Whenever you visualize, you are not visualizing because you want to show people that you know how to use Power BI, that you know how to do fancy colors, create fancy visuals. That is not the reason why you visualize your data. You visualize your data because you want to understand that data better, right? Because people connect more to visuals than the data itself. So whenever you are visualizing your data, have it at the back of your mind that this visualization that I'm creating, is it helping this business in any way? If it is not helping the business in any way, then you are failed. Not like you are failed, but you are failed in your attempt to create an easy, interpretable visualization. And then again, Power BI can connect to a variety of data sources, including SQL Server. All right. So there are over 100 data sources. Power BI lets you connect easily to these data sources, making it a versatile tool for business intelligence.
Does Tableau have more connections or Power BI, like, between these two?
All right. So I really don't know which of them has more or can connect to more data sources, but they both connect to a lot of data sources, right? That is why both of them, Power BI and Tableau, they are up there when it comes to visualization.
Okay.
All right, so if you have any questions, right, along the line, please let us know in the comments, okay? Let us know in the comments if you have any question at all. All right, so how can we integrate SQL and Power BI? How can we make use of them to get insights from our data, right? So SQL Server serves as the data engine, right? The database where your data is stored and prepared. And then Power BI can connect directly to your SQL Server. It will connect directly to your SQL Server, pull the data in. If you want to model the data, if it needs to be modeled, you can model the data in Power BI and then you visualize it. All right. So any questions so far before we go into practicals? Any questions so far? What is it? Or okay, let me not ask any questions so far. What have you learned so far, right? From what I've said, what have you learned so far? Let us know in the comments what you have learned so far. All right, thank you very much. Let us know what you've learned so far. Okay, so I'm waiting. Let us know what you've learned so far. We will not leave here. Let us know what you've learned so far. All right. So for those on the call, let us know. Don't be shy. Just type in anything, right? Let us know what you've learned so far. Okay. So Faith said Power BI connects to SQL Server for visualization. Yes. Then Juan said the importance of SQL in data analysis. Okay. Salau said purpose of visualization. Good. Taiwo said SQL is like a reservoir of data. Reservoir. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for your wonderful input. Thank you. It means that we are all learning something, right? We are not just here. You didn't come here to look at my face, right? You came here to learn. You came here to learn how to make use of these tools. Okay. So we have before we go into that, there was a friend of mine. He lives in the UK, and he told me about something. He said his company wants to hire a Power BI developer. But this Power BI developer is not just someone that knows how to build visuals. They want someone that can be able to pull data from their database and then help them visualize that data, track the important KPIs. And he needed to learn it before the job opening like goes outside to the public, right? They wanted in-house people to apply for it first before they take it outside. So he reached out to me. He was like, Sandra, please teach me this thing. Even if it's 2 weeks, I will learn it. And I was able to teach him, right? So that is it. Companies are not just looking for someone who can visualize data. Can you help them pull data from different sources? So if your ability to go beyond the surface, to go beyond the basics, makes you a valuable asset to that organization. Okay. All right. So we have a task at hand, right? So this task is for Amdora store. Okay. So this store would like to get insights to answer specific business questions like churn identification. Which of their customers have not made purchase in the last 6 months? Customers that have not made purchase in the last 6 months, it means that, okay, it's possible that the customers, they've stopped patronizing you, right? Or it's possible they've lost interest. So we don't know. So we need to know customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. We have customer segmentation. Who are our customers? Then lastly, they also want to find answers to their best-selling products. Which products are high in demand? All right, so this data, they have this data in their database. So I'm just going to open up my SQL Server Management Studio, right? The SQL Server Management Studio lets you write your queries, lets you save your data, lets you structure your database in general. So we're going to see, for those of you who have never used SQL before, you are going to see what the SQL Server Studio looks like. All right, so when you open it like this, right, it will tell you to connect. So I'm just going to connect to my server. This is my server. I'm going to connect to it. Okay, so when I connect to my server, right, you're going to see things like databases, security. Now, this database here houses or stores all the database in this server. So each organization that makes use of this particular tool, they have different databases, right? So they store data into these databases. When I expand this database, I'm going to see all of the database in this server. Now, the database that we want to work on is the AdventureWorks 2022 data. Now, you're going to be surprised when I expand this data, you're going to be surprised that we have a lot of data. Or when I expand this database, you're going to be surprised at the size of data that we have here, or the number of data that we have here. Okay, so when I expand the tables, do you see? These are a lot of data. So just imagine having this data in Microsoft Excel and you put them in separate worksheets. By the time you want to start visualizing, you'll be having headache, because where do you go to? How do you access the data that you want to access? So you see the reason why organizations make use of SQL, to help them access their data efficiently, to be able to do their tasks efficiently. All right. So you can see the size, the number of data that we have here. There are a lot. And if you have this data in separate worksheets, it might be so hard for you to, get what you need and, get the valuable insight that you want to get at the end of the day. So these are the data set that we'll be working with. In this database, we also have something called views. All right, we also have something called views. So these views, right, have already been created. Like the scripts have already been written. So I do not need to worry myself too much about a lot of things, right? And then I'm just going to open my Power BI so that let's start with let us start analyzing our data and answering these questions that Amdor Store wants us to answer. Okay, I can see that the chat is booming. Okay, so Pelumi asks, please, does SQL serve the same data server as R? No. No, I'm trying to understand that particular question, but no. SQL is SQL, and SQL alone. I don't know if R has a data saver, but SQL does not do that. Okay, you want to know how I create the views? All right, so you will know very soon. Okay, so thank you all. So now my Power BI is open, right? I want to open a blank report. So we're going to start everything from afresh. All right, so let's go back to the task again. We have a task, churn identification. Which customers have not made purchase in the last 6 months? Which customers have not made purchase in the last 6 months? So I have a view, all right? I don't want to bore you because if I start writing the queries to actually get this insight, it's going to take our time, right? So I have a view that I have created before now. So this view is talking about, let me expand this. All right, so this view is actually called recency, frequency, and monetary. All right, so this view lets us get insights into our customers' recency. That is how recent they've made purchase, what is the frequency of purchase, what is their total monetary value, that is the total amount that they've spent so far from buying goods and services in Amdora store. So when I right click on this view, okay, and then when I click on design, we are going to see how this view was created. Okay, so I'm just going to expand this up a little so that you can actually see my screen. Let's see. Okay, so this is how this view was created. Let me zoom in. Okay. All right, so we have it here. This is how this view was created. Okay. So when you learn SQL, you'll be able to know how to create views. Okay. And I don't know, each area mentioned, right? To become a data analyst, you are not just going to learn Microsoft Excel, no, right? What we give you here at Amdor Analytics is we give you the basics, right? We start with why data analytics is important. Who is a data analyst? Even before we start teaching you these tools. Okay, we are not just going to speed your learning process, no, right? So we start from Microsoft Excel because we believe that Microsoft Excel is the foundation. Before things like SQL came, Power BI came, there has been Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is the foundation. And then we move on to Power BI. So I like to call Power BI the sister or sibling to Microsoft Excel. Because at the end of the day, both of them do the same thing, which is to analyze data. But it now depends on which one does it more efficiently. All right. So when you join our course, when you join us, when you join our training, we're going to explain the differences between these tools and which one is more efficient. And then we move on to SQL, where we teach you how to write your SQL queries, create functions, create views, create procedures, and a lot of other things. All right. So, but when it comes to creating view, this was the step that was used to create this particular view. So I'm going to go back to Power BI and try to get this data, okay, from my view. This data here is recency, frequency, and monetary. So from there, we are going to know the customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. Now, as a business, okay, I will ask that question very soon. Okay, I will ask that question very soon. Or let me just ask it now so that by the time I am bringing in the data, you have time to think about the answer. So if you're a business, right, and you notice that there are customers who used to patronize, but all of a sudden they stopped coming, what would you do? Would you let them go or would you reach out to them? And even if you are to reach out to them, what medium are you going to use to reach out to them? So let me know in the comments. So let me repeat that question. So let me repeat that question. As a business, right, you have customers who have been patronizing you, and all of a sudden they stopped patronizing you. We don't know why. What will you do as a business? Will you leave them like, okay, these customers, they're no more coming. It means they're not interested. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Bye. Or would you reach out to them? Are you going to send them a message? And even if you are going to reach out to them, what means are you going to use to reach out to them? Let me know in the comments.
Email.
Let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I can see some answers already. So while more answers are coming in, so I'm going to try to get this data. Okay, so just pause. Pause on your answers so that you follow what I'm doing, okay? So just pause on your answers. So how do we get data from a database? How do we get data from a database? It is actually very easy when you come to Power BI. So the first thing I'm going to do, so you can get data from, get it from your database through different methods, right? You can come to get data and then you select SQL Server. So I already have, okay, I just mistakenly clicked on something. So I already have my SQL Server here, my connector here. I'm going to click on this SQL Server icon. And then when I click on it, it's going to open up a box. So it is asking me for my server name. So I'm just going to go back to my SQL Server to what is my server name. So I'm going to come to my connection. And then this is my server name. Okay. So this is my server name. I'll copy it. And then go back to Power BI. And I'll paste that server name. I think somebody was asking, I saw something somewhere in the comments, Postgres. So this is not limited to just the SQL Server. It's not just limited to Microsoft SQL Server. You can also connect to other databases, all right? You can also connect to other databases. So let me just cancel this. To connect to other databases, all right, I'm going to come to Get Data, and then I'll come down to More and click on it. When I come down to More, it is going to show me all of the data sources that I can connect to, right? You can get data from a file, you can get data from a database and from any other place, all right? So I'm going to select database. You can see all the database that we can get data from. There are a lot of databases, okay? So the database that I want to get data from is the SQL Server database. I'll click on this again and then click on Connect. So that same dialog box is still going to open. So I'm just going to paste in my server. All right. And now what database do I want to get? I want to get data from the adventure. So we have to make sure that the name is exactly the same way it is on my SQL Server Management Studio. So we have Adventure Works 2022. I'm going to put that into this page that I have here. Adventure Works 2022. Okay, and then I'm going to select OK. All right, so for customers who have not made orders in the last 6 months, I can write a script. I can write a script to get it from my view. So I have a view here which says recency, frequency, and monetary. Okay, so I'm just going to come to Power BI and say, select, if you are working with SQL, the first command you start with is your select. Anytime you want to query your database, you start with select. All right, so I'm going to select all from my database, recency, sorry, not from my database, from my view rather, recency, frequency, and then monetary. Now, this is me applying a filter, right? Because the question says, customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. We have maximum 31 days in a month, right? So let's say minimum 28 days, or let's say 30 days. So 30 times 6, we have 180. So who have not made purchase in the last 180 days? Right, in the last 180 days. So I'm going to say where recency is greater than or equal to 180. And then I'm going to click on OK. So you can see that I'm not even writing the script here in SQL. No. Like I'm not writing the script here in my Management Studio 2. No. I'm writing it here in Power BI. You see how seamless it is to integrate SQL in your Power BI to retrieve data from your database. And then I'm going to click on OK. So let's see what we have here in the chat. Okay. So well done, everyone. I can see a lot of, answers already. So Femi Yusuf said, carry out customer satisfaction survey. Good, right? You reach out to your customer, asking them about their satisfaction, right? Then, okay, Juwon also said the same thing. If high priority, email or call. Great, I like that. High priority. High priority. All right, email. Okay, Pelumi said, reach out through mail. Introduce new products to them which they may be interested in. Very good. So I like all of your responses so far. I like all of your responses so far, and they're actually true. Okay, so then I'm going to click on connect. Okay. So let's see what this gives us. Okay, so I just want to go back. Aha, yeah. So my name is incorrect. So Adventure Works 2022. So I'm going to connect this again. All right, so you see, right? I do not need, you can see, let me come back to my SQL Server 2. This is the query, right, to create my view. But because this view has already been created, this query is running in the background already. So whenever I call on that view, it is saying this query. Again, I said that if you must begin a query in SQL, you have to begin with select. So I'm not here to teach you SQL, all right? So I'm just here to teach you how you can integrate it into your Power BI to get insights, all right? Okay, so coming back to Power BI, these are the customers who have not made purchases in the last 6 months. You can see some of them, their recency, 310. So this is like over 10 months. 219. So this recency is in days, right? 310 days. That means this customer has not patronized Amdora store in over 10 months. Should we say bye-bye to this customer? Or should we still reach out to them? Or this is a buy, this is like this particular course is vague. It's not going to yield any results. For a customer that has not patronized the store in over 10 months. So this would be somebody mentioned high priority. So what do we group this in? Is it low priority or high priority? For a customer that has not reached out or patronized the brand in over 10 months, should that be a high priority? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. But customers who patronized recently should be of high priority because we have to keep reaching out to them so that we do not lose them. We have to keep engaging them so that we do not lose them. Okay, so your job as a data analyst or a Power BI developer is not just to create dashboard. Like I said, no. It is your ability to bring out valuable insights. Okay, so put all your aesthetics aside. What do you bring to the table in sense of the insights? How valuable are your insights? So I'm going to load this into Power BI. Okay, so let's just let this load. And then your database can handle millions of rows of data efficiently. Imagine you are handling millions of rows in Excel. You will discover that there will come a time that your Excel is now starting to act slow. It's starting to behave funny. Yes, it has reached its limit. It's like you are overstretching it. So each of these tools, at the end of the day, they are all used for data analysis, right? But which is more efficient for task? When it comes to data management, database management, make use of your SQL Server. So if you're working in a company today, right, and they ask you, what do you bring to the table? Or how can we manage our data better? If you notice that they do not have this culture, you can tell them, We need to create a structure where our data can be managed efficiently. All right, so I have my data here, okay? So it is saved as query 1. I can just rename this so that it makes more sense, okay? So I'm just going to rename this as customers recency less than, sorry, not less than, greater than, right? Greater than 6 months. Okay, so now it makes more sense, okay? Okay, so I have a question here. Please, can you connect an entire database to Power BI? Of course, I'll show you how to do that now, okay? So I just showed you that even in Power BI, you can write your SQL scripts, right? The moment you connect to your database, you can write the script that you want, and then you get that data. And then you can also connect to the entire database. So that is where we are going into now, all right? And then lastly, we are going to visualize everything. Okay, so the next task is, who are our customers? Who are our customers? So we want to perform a customer segmentation analysis where we are going to see our high value customers, our low value customers. Okay, so again, I already have a view for that. So I'm going to come back to Power BI and then come to my home. Click on my SQL Server. So for those of you who are asking if the recording will be available, yes, it will be available, but make sure you register on that link. Okay, for those of you who are asking if this recording will be available, of course it will be available, but make sure you register on that link, okay, so that you get the updates when it is available. Okay, so my server, I'm going to paste that in again. All right, and my database is Adventure Works 2022. So I'm not going to come down to advanced option to write my query. I'm just going to click on connect. So this will let me connect to the entire database and just bring in the data that I need. All right. So for this data, you can see my views at the top here. So I want to bring in the customer segments. Right? You can see my customer segments, high value and not loyal. We have some high value customers that are not loyal. That is customers that spend a lot, but they are not loyal. What we mean by they are not loyal is that they are not frequent in their purchases and they don't come regularly to purchase from the store. We also have high value and loyal. That is customers that spend, that are also very frequent, that are also very frequent. All right, so I want to bring this in. Okay, so let's see. I also want to bring in our product. So which products are high in demand? So I'm going to write a script for that. Okay, I also want to bring in the person table. Okay, so I'm just going to look for that. Okay, person.person, yes. So you can see that for whatever data that I want, I'm selecting it. I'm not just clicking on it. I'm selecting it, and then I'm going to click on transform. So you see the reason why I'm clicking on transform very soon. All right. All right, so this person table, from this person table, right, well, we are going to know our customer's name, because it is not just enough that we have the customer ID, right? We also need to know our customer name. If not, how do we reach out to them? we don't know their names and we want to reach out to them. How do we reach out to them? So we need to know their names. All right. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to close and apply. So I hope we are all learning a lot. I know that I'm trying to like speed through this because of time, right? But I hope that we're all learning something. You're all seeing how you can connect to your database to pull out insights and then visualize. Right? Whenever you're trying to visualize, you have to make sure that your visualization is tailored to meet the objectives of your stakeholders, not what you want to see. It is not about you, right? It is about what they want to see, or it's about what will be helpful to the problem at hand. Not about you, not about how good you are with Power BI. It is about the objectives at the end of the day. All right, so let's just let this load. Okay, Hilary, the data set actually needs cleaning before loading from the Power Query. All right, so if the data needs cleaning, right? You can clean that in the Power Query, okay? But like I said, I'm not here to show you how you can write SQL scripts or how you can clean data. We've done previous sessions on how you can clean data, all right? So probably in our next master classes, we could have something like that. Okay, thank you very much, Hilary. Okay. So the reason why it's taking time is because the data is actually a large data. Okay, it's actually a very, very large data. So we need all the rows to load. Okay, so while that is loading, like I said, if you have any questions, I can see Faye, thank you very much for your questions. I can see that you're very active in the comments. So I really cannot answer all the questions. Okay, so please, can you connect an entire database to Power BI? So I hope I have answered that particular question, right? You can actually connect an entire database in Power BI. Let's see if Power BI is still loading this data. Okay. All right. So while that is loading, okay, Sherry has already done a good job of walking you, through the intro about Amdor, about our facilitators, our wonderful facilitators. They are all wonderful, okay? We have facilitators for different parts of the program. We have facilitators for business analysis, data science, data analytics. Okay, so you might be wondering, right? What is even the cost to learn all of these? SQL, Power BI, Excel, and not just that. We are not just teaching you SQL. Power BI, and Excel. We're teaching you how you can be able to use these tools to work efficiently wherever you find yourself, right? One thing that I do tell my students is I'm not going to teach you the tools. Okay, I know how to use Excel. Okay, that is fine. What will set you apart? So let me even tell you a story. There was this interview that I had, and this is what actually nailed the interview. I was showing the it was actually the CEO himself that reached out to me. I was showing him, I was like, okay, he was telling me, what have you done? Walk us through what you have done. And I just brought out my projects and some of the works, not even all, some of the works that I've done, just two. And I started showing him, okay, this is how I connected my data. And he was asking specific things, right? To get to like know if I actually know what I'm doing. He would ask, why did you connect this table with this table? Why did you choose to use this particular visual instead of this? Right? So we're not just going to teach you how to make use of these tools. No, we are going to teach you how to use these tools to get insights, valuable insights, to meet the demands of your stakeholders or the end users. So you might be asking, what is the cost? What is the cost? So the cost is actually 250,000 naira. But if you're among the first 20 persons, we have a discount for you. All right, we have a discount for you if you're among the first 20 persons, a 20% discount. All right, and so please just make sure that you fill the register on that link that is being passed in the chat. All right, to get more about this. All right, and if you want to make your payment, these are the account details. All right, so apart from this, you might also ask, what are the days we have our classes? Our classes are all live classes. We don't have any pre-recorded sessions. No, you have to make sure you come to class. The reason is so that you are attentive, because we want to teach people who are ready to learn, not people who just want to pass time or want to learn what everybody is learning. No, if you are ready to learn, then we are ready to teach you. So all our classes are live Saturdays and Sundays, 5 p.m. West African time to 8 p.m. West African time. So Saturdays and Sundays. Then on Thursday, we meet again to catch up with you, to know how far you are learning, right? So the program itself is 5 months. So 3 months live classes where you will learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL, how to use these tools to bring out insights from data. Apart from that, you also get access to sessions like LinkedIn optimization sessions. Let me tell you, most of the gigs that I've gotten are from LinkedIn, from people that I do not even know. I've not seen them with my eyes physically. They reach out to me, they refer me from LinkedIn. Apart from LinkedIn, we have other platforms like Upwork. People on a daily basis, they make thousands of dollars from Upwork, right? At the end of the day, right? Even if you are trying to like grow your career, at the end of the day, you are still trying to make money out of this career path. After your training, you have capstone projects. These capstone projects are so that you have something to show to your recruiters, to show to your employers, right? That this is what I've been able to do. When you work on capstone projects, you can easily all right, so when you work on capstone projects, you can easily walk your employers through what you have done, right? It is not something that somebody did for you. You did it by yourself. The capstone project helps you master the tools, master all the things that you've learned so far throughout your 3 months training. After your capstone project, you get access to our 1 month virtual internship where you get to work on real life data. You work on real life data, you get this. So most of the time you're going to get the data yourself. Yes. We are not going to baby or is it called, is it spoon feed? Yeah, spoon feed anybody, right? So we want you to feel like you've already learned these skills. Then we want to create a platform where you feel like you are already working as a data analyst. Like we put you on that hot seat. Okay, so we have that for our students. So again, the discount is available just for the first 20 persons or people to register. And if you would like to be part of our next cohort is starting on the 26th. So you still have time. Today is what? Today is 18. So you still have about 8 days more before the cohort starts. All right, so our next cohort starts on the 26th of October. We have how many months before the year ends? We just have 2 months before the year ends. So you still have time to learn a skill that sets you apart in this tech space. And day by day, companies are looking for data analysts. Is it testifier or a testimony? Or I am a witness, right? That companies are looking for data analysts on a daily basis. So please make sure that you fill the link that is being passed, all right? Please make sure that you do that, okay? So that you do not miss out on any of our updates, on any of our master classes and upcoming cohorts. So these are people who have trained with us and have gotten jobs. Wale had a session with us, a YouTube session with us, a YouTube live session with us about 2 months ago, where he shared how he gets gigs on Upwork. All right, so Wale is currently based in the USA. All right, so these are people that have learned with us and they are doing well in their respective field. And we also have some of them on this call. We have Hashdeep, we have Femi Yusuf. I think there was, I think I saw Ogene Gwe. All right, so we have some of them on this call. And you see that they still keep coming because there are still a lot of things to learn. With each day that goes by, something new is coming up that you need to learn. You do not just learn a tool and then you sit back. No, you keep on learning. That is what makes you a valuable asset. You keep on learning. So let me go back to this Power BI. It has finally opened. All right. So we are tasked with so do you do job placements or internship? So I already mentioned that we have a virtual internship that you participate in at the end of your program, okay? We have a virtual internship that you participate in. Now, this internship, right, you are going to add it to your portfolio. Apart from your capstone projects, you are going to add that or the case studies from those internships to your portfolio, and this will help you stand out. I cannot overestimate the importance of having a portfolio. Please, if you're on this call, it is very important that you build a data analysis portfolio, because what are you going to show your employer? It is not just your certificate. A lot of people are buying certificates, yes. But how do you let them know that you're actually good at what you do? It's through your portfolio. All right. So that when you register with us, you are going to get access to, to a lot of projects that you can add to your portfolio. Now, let us start visualizing something. All right. So who are our customers, right? We want to know our customer segment. So very quickly, because of time, right? I don't want to delay anyone here. So I'm just going to visualize this in a bar chart. Okay. So I want to see the customer segments that we have and which one generates the highest revenue for us, or which one generates more revenue for Amdora store. Okay, so for that, we have the customer segments here. And then I'm just going to put in the monetary score. Let's see how much these customer segments generates for Amdora store. Okay. So because I cannot really see what I'm doing right now, so I need to like increase the size of my labels. Okay, so I'm just going to add a data label to this so that, because this section is actually an interactive one, right? I'm going to ask a lot of questions. Again, it is not just about the tool. It's about bringing out valuable insights. Okay, so let's see. All right, so we can see my screen, right? We can see that, okay, we have low value customers that are not loyal. Up here, they are not loyal, but they are low value. We have high value customers that are not loyal. So let's start from the top. The low value customers that are not loyal, they've actually generated $41,000 for Amdor store. They are not loyal, they are low value. Now, the reason why they are not loyal is because most of them do not buy frequently. And the reason why they are low value is because they buy little items or items that do not really cost much. But then these are the customers that we have more. These are the customers that we have more. But as a business, right, for what advice will you give to Amdor store? As a business, when you have low value customers that are not loyal, they buy, but they do not buy a lot, and they are also not frequent. But these are the types of customers that we have more or the most coming to patronize us or over time. Thank you, Ashdeep. Ashdeep said that they buy China goods. All right, so and then we have high value and not loyal. We have low value and loyal customers. So as a business, what would you do? Right? At the end of the day, when you bring out insights from your data, you should also have a strategy that this company or this business can implement so that they don't lose customers and so that they also generate income. So let us know in the comments what strategies exactly, if you are Amdor, for example, what strategies will you implement? Okay, so please let's know in the comments, right? We have these segments. What strategies will you implement to ensure that you retain your customers? So let me know in the comments, what strategy will you implement to ensure that you retain your customers? So think about it. Free samples. So what strategy will you implement? So how do you give them value for what they buy? Give them gift voucher. Okay. So which customers will you give gift voucher? Is it the customers that are low value and not loyal? Which customers are you going to give gift voucher to?
The
Discount
low value
sales.
and not loyal.
You are going to give them gift vouchers.
Yeah.
When we have high value and loyal customers. So these high value and loyal customers are customers that actually buy a lot and they're also loyal. All right,
But
so
they
let us
only
even do
pay
something.
1K though. The other one pay 41K.
Yes.
That's why I said low, not loyal, because they're still making more money for the business.
So this is actually a very tricky one, right? Because the decision that you choose to take, it can either cause more problems by driving customers away, right? Or it can be positive. So it can either be negative or positive. At the end of the day, whatever decision that this business Amdor makes, right? So we also need to know customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. So we have that here in customer recency. So I need to know customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. So I'm going to use a card here just to know how many customers are they. So I also want to know the total number of customers that we have. Low value customers, they can continue patronizing, knowing each customer and understanding their wants. Some might need discounts, some want hospitality or of staff. Good. So at the end of the day, we still need to carry out a customer survey. So I use Wema Bank, and Wema Bank, they send me, from time to time, they send me this customer survey form that I should fill it, right? So this is a way of them like getting reviews from their customer, and this will in turn help them to serve their customers better. So you can see data is important in every sector. Data is important. Every sector you find yourself, data is important, especially for businesses. To understand your customers better, to generate more income, you need data. You need to identify patterns. All right, so I need to know how many customers we have. So I'm just going to count our customers.
It's more like you do the survey and you get $20 Tim Hortons gift card kind of thing, right? Where they incentivize you and they get data out of it, right?
Okay, so I didn't get that.
You know, like sometimes they go like fill out this survey and you get a $20 Tim Hortons gift card. And so they're essentially getting data by offering you an incentive, and then they're getting data in return, which they can.
You know, if the business should continue in that route, are they going to get, okay, so are they going to hit loss or gain in revenue at the end of, like, that is a lot of costs on their side, right? Yeah. So I think probably there are other strategies that they can implement to retain these customers. Okay, so we have, all right, so okay. So we have 19,000 customers, okay? 19,000 customers. But how many customers have not made purchase in the last 6 months? So we have 8,000 plus customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. That is a lot. That is a lot. All right. So these customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months, let us also see what customer segment they belong to. So I'm just going to check my data model to ensure that my data is modeled correctly, okay, before I carry out that operation. Okay. All right, so it is modeled correctly. So we need to know what segment they fall into, these customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. Okay, so I'm going to bring this here. Right, customer segments. And then the customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. All right. Okay, so the customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months. All right, so here we still have the low value and not loyal customers. So this is actually expected because they make more than 50% of, or they make more than 50% of the data, right? The data is made up of, I think more than 50% of low value and not loyal customers. But then we still cannot say, okay, we are going to discard these customers, or we are not going to give them better treatment because they are low value customers. No, we need to think as a business, right? We need to, like somebody suggested in the chat, why not suggest other products? I think that was Faith. So Faith suggested that in the chat. Why not suggest other products that they might be interested in? So as a business, you can carry out market basket analysis to seek products that your customers are buying frequently. And then you can suggest other products that they would want to also buy. Right? Like you can't buy a phone without buying a charger. right? Because how are you going to charge your phone? Okay, so you need to
Unless it's an iPhone, then you can. Charger doesn't come in the box.
All right. So, but then again, you can't still buy a phone without a tool to charge it, right? You can't still buy a phone without a tool to charge it. Except iPhone has now started doing solar charging. I don't know. Maybe you put it somewhere in the sun and then you let the sun heat it up, charge it. All right. So that is it. So let me know your comment. Let me know what you have learned so far in the comments, right? You can see that I'm not just showing you how you can use. I know that the reason why most of you came here, right? The reason for this masterclass is so that you can see how to integrate SQL into Power BI, how to get data from your database. But at the end of the day, you are trying to solve a business problem. You are trying to answer a business question. Okay, so let me know in the comments, have we been having fun so far? Has it been insightful? This is me also doing a survey. So this is me also carrying out a survey, and this would help us as a brand, as an edtech, to improve. All right, so let us know so far what you think of this session. Let us know in the chat what you think of this session. All right, so let us keep it coming. Let us know in the chat what you think of this session so far. This is us also reaching out for review. Thank you, Juwan, Taiwo, and Faith. Even for me, right? I noticed that every time I work on a data task, I'm always learning something new. So I'm really thankful that I'm a data analyst, because there are
But
so many
who did we
things.
give value to? I'm confused. Like, who did we give that coupon or something benefit to? Like, I'm still confused regarding.
Sorry?
Like in this chart, who are we interested in? Like, I didn't clearly get that. Could you
Okay,
re-explain that?
so okay. All right. So we are trying to retain our customers. We are trying to see customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months and which segments they fall into. Okay. So that is it for this particular chart. Customers who have not made. So let me put a title there so that it's, it's easy for everybody to follow. Customers who have not made purchase in the last 6 months, right? So this is the segments that they fall into. Low value, not loyal. High value, not loyal. Now, you as a business, are you going to, okay? All right, so you as a business, are you going to discard these customers, or you're going to look for a way to engage them so that they are loyal? Right? We have high value customers here. They spend a lot, but they're not loyal. Why are they not loyal? Right? So I think a customer satisfaction survey, a feedback form, right, will do. Let us get to know what our customers like. Because at the end of the day, we are trying to satisfy our customers, not us as a business, to satisfy our customers. So what can you do to satisfy your customers to keep them engaged? Okay, so let me check. All right, so thank you. So thank you, everybody.
It
Thank
could
you,
be customer
everybody.
service, right? Like maybe you're the employee you hired who's handling customer service. Maybe he's not doing his job well
Job.
or something along that line.
All right, so I wouldn't really know, right?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wouldn't really
there
know.
could be possibilities like that, right? I'm just stating a possibility.
Yes. All right. So thank you all very much, right? I don't want to delay us anymore. But like I said, right, if you are interested in being a part of our next cohort, which is starting on the 26th of this month, October, then do well to register for it. Okay, to register for it. And the price again is 250,000 naira. That should be around $200 thereabout. So the price is 250,000 naira. So you can see our students, right? These are our students. These are what they have done. And we also encourage our students that I know that there are lots of people who are shy of displaying their works, but at the end of the day, you are doing it for yourself, right? You are trying to create a brand for yourself. You are trying to be a voice in the data space. Don't be shy. Don't think, oh, person A, because person A has more followers than you, then you don't need to post. Post your work. Always, we try to encourage our students to post their work on LinkedIn, on their social medias. This way, they can get recruiters to reach out to them. Instead of applying to jobs that 1,000 people are applying to, right? So, like I said again, if you want to register for this program, it is 250,000 naira. But then again, we have discount for the first 20 people to register. Okay, so if you are among the lucky 20 people to register, you are going to be paying 200,000 naira instead. Okay. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? So let me know if you have any questions so far. Even though I may not be able to answer all of them, but is there any question that you want to ask pertaining to the training, pertaining to the course, pertaining to this session that we just have? Let me know in the comments. All right, so I'm still waiting for your questions. Any questions so far? Okay, so I'm just going to leave these details on, just leave it here, just that in case any of you would want to like take a screenshot for later. All right, so this is it on the screen. And while I check the charts, okay, do you have a training JAD specifically to SQL? So I think probably you are asking if, okay, just a training for SQL. All right, so why we do not do that currently, we do not run that currently. All right, so we run a strict curriculum that entails the tools for data analytics, okay, Excel, Power BI, SQL, and then we're going to teach you everything that you need to know in these tools.
What I
Thank
think
you,
he is
Hilary.
asking is that if there's a training that allows him to just focus on one thing and master it. I think
Yes.
that's what he was thinking. Yeah.
Yes, that is what I just replied to. So we do not currently run that. Hopefully in the future we would have courses tailored towards a specific tool. All right. So we have an a LMS coming up very soon in our website. You are going to get courses tailored specifically to a particular tool. All right, so thank you all very much. Okay, so Chere, if you're still in the call, I don't know if you have anything else to say before we call it a night. All right, so thank you all very much for joining. Okay, thank you all very much for joining. I do appreciate it. It was really interactive and I learned a lot. So thank you all very much for joining and hope to see you guys in our next masterclass. So please make sure that you fill that link going on in the chat, okay? So that whenever we have any masterclass coming up, you will be the first to know. All right, you'll be the first to know. You are going to be our high value, our high value customer, our high value member. All right, thank you, Faye. Thank you, Hashdi. So everybody that made the chat interesting, thank you very much.